this is. You've obviously read the title. If you haven't, I'll tell you right now. Stranger Things is a Netflix original. Alright? If you haven't watched it, you can go ahead and watch the first majority of this video until I tell you when the spoilers start. If you want to go into this whole thing blind, I suggest starting to watch it now and continuing back to this video to see my points and tell me if I have properly explained the show in semi-depth. Because I don't want to give any spoilers away in the first part of this, and that's how it's going to go. Now again, I say this. Stranger Things is a Netflix original. Welcome everyone. This is a second broadcast for yours truly, Jason Manning, aka Second Leader, but today I'm not coming to you as Second Leader, I'm coming to you as a person, Jason Manning. That's what it is. And me and my pink fat ass, all not ironed and shit and tucked in, we're gonna go ahead and talk about Stranger Things. This is an amazing show. Not super duper fucking amazing, but it was great. Really great. This show takes place in Indianapolis, I think it was. Indiana. In a small town called Hawkins. Now, let me just tell you, this is fresh in my mind, but I don't pay attention to small details. I really like the story of things. Normally, names and things don't stick unless it is a very important character who does important things during the show. I can't even tell you the last name of the sheriff. I just watched the whole show. I mean, it's only 8 episodes. It's pretty short. Every episode is about 45 to 50 minutes at length. So, awesome. And I can tell you the sheriff's first name is Hop, or at least that's what everyone calls him. This is a small town. And in this town, there are a few things to take note of. There's a quarry, which is owned by a guy who owns multiple quarries, which we learn in the show. Now again, don't think I'm ruining anything or giving anything away. I am just trying to explain things that go on in the show without giving away anything. This whole part may accidentally come with spoilers, not very important spoilers, but I am going to be discussing something very interesting and my thoughts on it towards the end of this, but I will tell you when the major spoilers start. And that part, obviously, link will be down below for you to click the timestamp, and you can go ahead and click on that, and we will discuss things if you've already watched the show. This is an intellectual discussion, or at least a starter of a discussion, because I haven't seen anything on Reddit about it or anything like that, and it's kind of ticking me off, and I can't really put everything that I wanted to into a Twitter post like I usually do. You know, I kind of get my ideas out there, snap them off, see if anyone tweets back or retweets. You know, start some conversations if I can, and I usually do, and it's fun to talk intellectually with people who share the same ideals, or actually do not share my ideals, and then, you know, they're not complete and utter douchebags who just completely blow me off. They actually speak with me, and either I change their mind or they change my mind. It's happened multiple times either way. Sometimes we've agreed to disagree on things. Small things, big things, political discussions, not so political discussions, human rights. I am an intellectual person, or at least I like to think I am, and I love discussing things at length. Sometimes I can be argumentative, and sometimes I can be really neglectful of the truth if I think that the truth sucks ass and it's better to lie about something or believe something that is not the truth or the whole truth. But I do like being an intellectual, and I love learning things, and I love teaching things and talking about things. Sorry about the stutter. My nose. And so what we are going to do is we're going to talk about Stranger Things. Now, as I said, this is a story, only 8 episodes at length, about, I want to say 6.5 hours, 7 hours at the most of complete watch time, easily done in the morning or at night if you're trying to go to sleep and you had a quick day. This is something that you can go through, and it is a really interesting semi-science fiction, semi-science. Really cool, actually. Now, the story takes place with a whole bunch of young kids, as well as a few teenagers and a couple adults. People do die, there is some gore and some other things, and there are superpowers. We'll tell you that. Now, Stranger Things kind of sums up the idea. Let's just say that the story starts off interesting. You see normal life things going on, trying not to ruin anything, and then things get a little weird, and then things get scary. They kind of start scary, and then they get weird, and then stranger things happen. The name, obviously, I'm trying to nick the name there in the bud, but I mean, it works. You know, I feel like there'd be a lot of different titles for this, and I'm pretty sure my zipper is on. Good. So, great show. 8 out of 10. Would watch again. Very short, easy watch. Great things. And me not being a fan of jump scares, there are a few, and things that startled me, and I love a good scare and a good jump scare. Obviously, sometimes I want to turn my head because I am a pussy, but, you know, yeah. So, now, spoiler alert. Gonna get deep here. This is very interesting. Episode 8, when the guys are ending their D&D match, you hear him, the chunky dude, sorry, remember, don't really care about names. He talks about how it doesn't add up. The story has a couple things left out. Doesn't make sense. And they're all in agreement on this, except for, obviously, God, I'm horrible with things. See, Will is the whole thing about the show, and I can't even remember the dude's name. Mike. Sorry. Mike is the only one that's like, come on, it was cool, it was good, it was 10 hours, he says. And so they list off a few things, and this is really interesting, and the reason is because people don't usually notice these things. I noticed them right away. Before I go into another thought, he lists off the strange flowers, the missing knight, or the lost knight, and the princess. There are three things that don't make sense. Now, anyone who has ever played The Last of Us knows that the monster in this kind of resembles the clickers. Just saying, kind of. And the whole atmosphere and everything that's going on resembles the clickers as well, and you see the spores in the air, which might be ashes or molted skin. You know, it could be a couple different things up in the air. The reason it's toxic could be because it's molted skin or ashes. It really depends. So, obviously, the flower, if you were paying attention, was the shell in the forest that the sheriff was looking at intently. He kind of like noticed it out of the blue. He said, wait, this is kind of weird. Nothing went on, but you see him looking at it, actually examining it. That is almost obviously an eggshell. Could be something else. Could be a spore. All right? Now, my belief is that is an eggshell. It is a hatch. Like, that's where the monster came from. You don't see any of them in the forest. And obviously, we only see or hear of one monster. And then there is the slug that we see in, what was her name? Brenda, I'm not sure, sorry. The lady that dies, mouth, when 11 is precognitioning, I guess you could say. Their slug is there, and slug is meant to feed, because those are probably larvae or something like that, babies. And then they might go into a cocoon and then hatch as a larger animal, monster, blah, blah, blah. That's my thoughts. There are a lot of different holes there and things, but that's my connection personally, and I want to start that discussion. Now, the princess / soldier. You have Will, which could be either the Lost Knight soldier or the princess, and you have 11, which could be the Lost Knight and or the princess, because they both fought and they're both fragile. So that's another thing. I don't know which of them is the princess and which of them is the soldier. Princess can sometimes mean a fragile person if you were talking about tarot cards and things like that. Sorry, getting too deep in this supernatural stuff. I really love these types of conversations. I'm a big religious person, a supernatural type person, so it's fun. And obviously, the one discussion I did see on Reddit was the talk of how Will is probably going through effects, maybe some sort of physical effects, or maybe even transforming into the monster, things like that. There's a lot of different theories. I think obviously the one theory that he's going to gain superpowers, not going to happen. That's my belief. He's not going to gain superpowers. He may be able to, however, precognate inside of the Upside Down, which is a weird inside of the Upside Down. This sounds weird. My belief. Maybe he could turn into a monster. Maybe. Maybe. Now, this was a decently long video, not crazy long. I don't want to go into discussion too much. I don't want to be thinking a whole bunch in the video. As you can see, I'm kind of doing it there, spacing off, staring off into space, you know, like thinking. I want to like talk more and I want to discuss things, but you know, guys, just tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you can, link this to Reddit. I'm probably going to. And hopefully, guys, you did enjoy this video. If you have any comments you want to make down in the comment section down below, please do subscribe if you enjoyed. If you want to watch any gaming content or other review type content, I'm sorry I couldn't make this a super amazing video like I usually do, like I do with some of my anime reviews and stuff. But my channel has been marked because obviously I don't have a shit ton of subscribers or viewers, and I don't have a crazy fan base. So, you know, YouTube and Japan TV are trying to fuck me over and say, you know what, no, you're not allowed to do anything. So I don't know if Netflix would do that to me. I don't know if they're dickbags about that stuff and the copyrights and everything. But apparently, you know, the rule of fucking fair use doesn't work on me because I'm nothing. Guys, it sucks. I'm sorry. I wanted to put pictures. I wanted to put clips. Really sucks. But if you did enjoy, please do subscribe, like the video, share the video. I want this conversation to get out. I want my ideas to get out because I'm not seeing them anywhere. And I think that's obvious. It's like the Shaun of the Dead or whatever that movie was called, where he's talking at the beginning and he tells the whole story at the beginning of the fucking movie. What's gonna happen? Obviously it's paraphrased, but he says what's gonna happen. And that is what I think happens. That is what I think happens. They went through a game of Dungeons and Dragons. There was a discussion about how the guys that made this came into an interview and instead of explaining anything, gave a 37-page Dungeons and Dragons quest. Well, this is my second broadcast with truly Jason Manning, aka Second Leader. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great rest of your fucking day, night, morning, whatever time it is. It's night for me, and I'll have a great rest of it. I hope you do too. See you guys in the next one.
And that's been the video, and this has been a second broadcast for truly Jason Manning, aka Second Leader. Have a great rest of your fucking day.